name is Ashley Fairwell, and I am a certified health and wellness coach. My passion is taking complicated medical diagnosis and making it simple for people to understand. I do this by simplifying the vocabulary and the language that we use and bringing the information to where people are, social media. I've been in natural and holistic care for about 6 years, and I've been in education in different capacities for 12 years. But my own complicated medical diagnosis is what made me want to help others. Today, I'm going to talk to you about measuring your blood pressure accurately. It is so important for us to know how to measure our blood pressure because this could be the difference between a new medical diagnosis, getting the correct medication, and it could ultimately save your life. Learning how to accurately measure my blood pressure not only changed my life, it actually saved my husband's life. In 2021, my husband had a pulmonary embolism. A pulmonary embolism is when a blood clot travels from your body up into your lungs. If I didn't know how to accurately measure his blood pressure and know some of the symptoms of a pulmonary embolism, my husband probably wouldn't be here today. So I say that to say, when I share information, the tips and tricks, this isn't just for another like or share. This is really helpful information that could save someone's life. So let's get into it. Here are 6 simple tips that can help you measure your blood pressure accurately. So number 1, you want to empty your bladder. Having a full bladder puts stress on our body and it can raise your blood pressure by 10 points. So number 2, you want to make sure your back and your feet are supported. So you want to sit up tall and straight in a comfortable position. Don't tighten yourself. And your back should be pressed against the back of your seat, feeling supported. And your feet should be on the ground, planted and not crossed. This could save you 6.5 points on your blood pressure. So number 3 is going to be harder for some than others. So no talking or active listening. This is especially hard when you're at the doctor's office and you got a real cool nurse and y'all are vibing and you're talking. But you have to ask, hey, can we stop for a second while you take my blood pressure and we get in this conversation later? Because those stressors of the conversation, good or bad, stress is not just about bad things happening, can raise your blood pressure another 10 points. So number 5, you want to make sure you don't place the cuff over your clothes. This is highly important because it can cost 5 to 50 points on your blood pressure. So speaking of cuff, you want to make sure your cuff is not too small. Sometimes when we're in a doctor's office, they put on a cuff and they're measuring it and it gets so tight that it feels like it's like pinching us, like hurting us. If you're at that point, then stop the process and ask them for a larger cuff. The reason that is important is because as you get this pain in your arm, I'm not talking about a normal sensation, like you're like strongly in pain, then what that does is it sends the stressor through your body and it elevates your blood pressure, meaning you're not going to get an accurate blood pressure reading. All right, so number 6 is simple. It's for you to make sure that your arm is supported by something. It should be as close and in line to your heart level as possible. I bring this up because very often I go to an office and things are moving fast and pop the cuff on and my arm's just dangling. No, we need to stop and make sure our arm is supported so we can get an accurate reading. So the tips that I shared with you today are beneficial for when you take your blood pressure at home, but also when you're in a doctor's or nurse's office. Make sure you stop them and say, hey, I want to get the most accurate blood pressure reading. So let's follow these 6 steps to make sure we're getting that. Sometimes when you're at a doctor's office, you can get a higher reading when you first come in because of the stress of being at the appointment if you just dealt with traffic, if you're dealing with something at work and then you just rush into the office. So many things can cause these factors. So don't be afraid to ask for a blood pressure reading at the beginning of your visit and then another one at the end of your visit. Most doctors' offices don't care. So if you found these tips helpful, go ahead and subscribe, but also join me on Instagram or TikTok, where I have lots of tips and tricks about heart healthy practices and how you can just become the best healthy you.